What's up, everyone? Uh, it's Jon Digger with another episode of Jon Digger Plays Final Fantasy XII. My favorite out of all I've played from the franchise. Um, so yeah, where we last off? Ah, I believe left off maybe on Mount Barometes. It's going through the temple or something, right? Okay, so right now I've reached the Fon coast. Um, so I've done quite a bit. As you can see, I've clocked up a mad game time already, like, and you know how much there is to do in this game for those of you who have played 12. For those who haven't, um, this game's huge. Like, there's so much to do, and I mean, you can just get lost in just leveling up your characters. So yeah, as you can see, everyone's above level 40. Right now, we're still going along with the method of putting one member out, equipping them with the embroidered tippet, which offers double XP. So it's really good if you just want to level up as quickly as possible. Comes in handy now, especially. I mean, you can see already, like, you know, to get to the next level, it's gonna cost me 41,572 experience points. In this area, the monsters I'm fighting, the majority of them, they give at least like, I would say 1,500 to 2,000 experience. So obviously with that doubles like 3 to 4,000 experience points. So what's that, like 10 to 15 max battles, I'd say, before I get to the next level. So just because I wound up at that level with these three characters, bit of a backstory there. I reached the Salaka Wood, which is an area before this. You know, I was exploring the entire map, and I wound up in an area that I had never actually entered before. The Necrohole of Navidis or something along those lines. I've never been in that area before. Like when I played on the PS2, like I actually never set foot in that spot, and it was really cool. I mean, you know, there's like a cut. You know, it's really cool to play a game. It's like you think you know the game, but then there's so much more in it, like, to be done. It's great. And obviously this version, the ZODIAC version, is pretty cool with the, you know, the added kind of individual license board thing, you know, and all that, job classes and stuff. So yeah, I ran through there with Balthea, Ash and Penelo, and yeah, it's really good. Some advice. I mean, if you can get to, like, because the monsters in there are pretty fucking strong. They were higher than all of my characters by at least like 5 levels, I would say, and I'm fairly high already. So, you know, if you can get your characters to like maybe like level, I'd say at least like maybe level 40 before you reach the Salaka Wood, and you fancy a challenge, like, head into the Necrohole early, because the rewards are great. You get some really good, like, kind of high level magic that I have to say I probably didn't have when I played before, like way back. So it's worth it going in, and just the XP gains as well. And it's nice because when you exit, I mean, there's no save point in there, I'll just warn you. So if you're gonna go through, make sure you're on point, because you know, long for getting right to the end of the map and dying or some shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's long. Yeah, we don't do that. So yeah, make sure you're well equipped, well prepared before you take on the task of traversing that particular dungeon. But if you can do it, you know, make it to the other side, you'll be well rewarded. It comes out into the what is it, Nabius Deadlands or something like that, and it actually forms the map actually forms a loop back onto the Salaka Wood, which is really cool, because if you think about it, like for those who know the storyline and stuff, like you know, you go through the Salaka Wood and leave and enter the Fon Coast. So as far as the map goes, like this is like an area that branches off and then brings you back to the same location. So effectively, it's like it was set up that if you were ready for it at that point, you could literally just go in, you know, and take like the scenic route, basically, you know, whilst still staying on the main storyline, which is really cool. I like that. Something to keep in mind when I kind of delve into creating games and maps and stuff, you know. But yeah, so Fon Coast, currently playing as Bosch. He is a white mage and bushy. Like I left him with just the bushy for most of the game up to this point, because I just couldn't decide on like what second class to give him. And after kind of filling out everyone else, it was like, well, I mean, he's got fairly high, you know, he's got high like HP, and he had decent MP, but like no magic, so not using the MP. Wanted to make use of that, but then it was like, you know, when I'm thinking about sort of like what would come in handy for teams later on, and also as an individual character. I mean, if you're gonna run around as just like one man, like or woman, you know, one person, you know, you need to be able to cover bases, right? Like, so if we go into this, obviously, you know, we got a white mage archer, like, so that gives me, especially now, access to a hell of a lot of really good magic. Bravery, like, you know, Regen, Kyurga, really good. I mean, it trumps Kyura, like, heavily in terms of how much it heals. I mean, this is handy for when you've got a full party and only one person's covering base with healing. But Kyurga will effectively at this point, like, you know, if you set it, the gambit to like, you know, 30%, like, you know, you'll replenish pretty much like 100% of your HP in one blast, like with this. So, you know, Regen, Faith, like Protect guy, that one, very handy. Cast it on everyone, etc, etc. So, you know, and Vaughn, like, after Vaughn's always been in a good position offensively. As the archer, it's pretty quick, decent damage, and I found the burning bow very early on as a mark reward, you know, for completing one of the hunts. So pretty much every single bow that I've come across up to this point has been weaker than that bow. Then I found the bamboo arrows, which was really fucking good. One of the high levels, like, you know, and it's not elemental, which is great because I can just use it on anything. One hit poison, like that's always handy. Making him the white mage found some cool shit, so I've switched him over to the mystic gear as opposed to the light armor, which is cool. And now because he's a white mage, obviously you can see his MP, so he's got a lot to bring to the table as far as techniques and shit. Balthea is, you know, the gun-toting monk, like, you know, it's been very handy. Not really using a gun with him right now. I switched over to a pole a while back. The attack speed, like, is just like DPS is just a hell of a lot higher, like, than with the gun. I mean, the gun comes in handy, like, you know, if you've got the right elemental ammo for a given monster, switch over. You can probably one hit kill it, like, or two hit. But I mean, the time between attacks is just so slow compared to like using a pole. It's like more or less once a second. Yeah. So, and then you know, we got the night time battle mage. Still using a crossbow. I'll probably switch to Fran next, once I get to level 47. Yeah, I found, or I managed to construct, I can't remember, or craft, stone bolts, which has been really handy. So, you know, on hit disable, like, very handy. Yeah, it's very frequent with like the shots, it's crazy. Made her a knight because her HP was really low as like a time battle mage. I wanted to try and increase that. Also because of the access to extra equipment, so at least now one person will be able to, you know, I mean, I've got access to swords if I really need to use them, but I don't. As you can see, gave her that to give her access to better magic, so that's handy. Like, yeah, it's good. So yeah, we come round. She'll be able to use great swords later, which is going to be fun, interesting. I may switch her over to a great sword later, once I actually get some. So yeah, and then we've got the Black Mage Shikari, Ash. Currently using a ninja sword, which I was lucky enough because I guess, as you can see, to be able to reach this point and put that much time into the game, I've been doing a lot of side quests and just hitting up every area I could survive in, basically, and just staying there. You know. So yeah, got a Kagenui, which is really good. I'm not getting rid of the main gosh. I mean, I'm not using it, but I mean, that evade is sick. I mean, you equip that, like, you're dodging like 80% of attacks, like physical attacks, and combine that with the jade collar or something, like, you're good to go. So, you know, for new players or whatever, like, you know, look out for the main gosh, like, and keep it. It will come in handy, like. But yeah, this sword, on hit slow, again handy. I've also got the Ashura, though I'm not using it right now. Slight difference in the, you know, and obviously ninja swords are held in one hand, but they're actually two-handed swords, so you know, it's So that's a thing. I mean, it's unfortunate because obviously I've got all these shields, can't really use them, but you know, I don't mind, it's cool. And yeah, I found this on my journeys. Yeah, she's got the J collar on currently. And then Penelo, Red Mage, Foe Breaker, I decided to give her because, I don't know, like, she was doing alright just as a red battle mage, and I was just sort of like, what would actually complement her current stance, you know? Because if you check out the license, with as far as the weapons available to you as a red battle mage, you know, she's got maces, which, you know, are pretty solid in terms of hit anyway. So I figured I'd just keep to that. Everyone else was covered in terms of bows and whatever, and I think it's pretty fitting for Penelo as like a character, you know. It's like, she's the youngest, but she's heavy duty on some level, and her whole thing is just about wanting to protect, you know, people she cares about. She's strong, you know, like, so, you know, it was kind of fitting to make her a foe breaker, you know. I felt. So now she's got access to hand bombs, which I've used a few times, they're alright, and axes, which I'm using because I found the Francisca, and it was just like mad damage once you get the max out, like, you know, it's like a good few thousand certain hits. Add bravery or something to that and you're good to go. So yeah, that's the breakdown of all the characters. So I'll show you the gambit. This is a really good example of like a solid gambit for like this build, if you will, what we call that, white mage samurai or whatever. So yeah, I mean, this is void at this present moment because obviously I'm running around one character, but you know, I could change this to self, but it doesn't matter. So yeah, Kiriga, like when HP drops below 30%, like slow Kronos tier, like poison, antidote. HP drops below 50, cast protect and shell anytime there's two or more foes present. Bravery, extra physical damage against everyone, so you know, kind of balances things out. Because he's a samurai or Bushi, gets access to Shades of Black quite early on, so any flying type, Shades of Black. Shades of Black, for those who don't know, it's basically it's a technique which allows you to cast, or the character to cast black magic without needing MP. The only thing, you know, little kind of thing, it's that the black magic that you cast is random, but it's cool because like it being random, you get access to every single like black magic there is, like, so you generally wind up casting the highest level kind of black magic against enemies, and it's just ridiculous at times, like, I swear. And then again, Bushi, Sight Unseen, which only it's the move that only works when the character is blind. It's a technique again, so what it basically does is if it hits, it will reduce the character's it will significantly reduce an enemy's HP. It's pretty much to like 1 or something. And you know, foe nearest attack, because these are above that, they override this gambit. Like, so if a flying type comes, it won't just be attacking blindly, it will go straight into that. and same with sight unseen. Blinded, it will stop attacking and start using sight unseen. And in order to avoid losing the opportunity to make use of sight unseen, set like remove blind with eye drops at the end of the battle, basically. So once you're out of battle, like, he'll cast eye drops on himself, and also covers bases with Libra. Like, works pretty well. It's cool to watch. I've been reading up on stuff, so this particular area, once I finish, I'm gonna look deeper into it. But basically, it's something to do with getting one of the, if not the most powerful weapon in the game, the ZODIAC spear. Found out that basically there's a particular, where I was talking about before, the Necrohole, like, there's a room that you gain access to later on that has like, and there are 16 chests in. It's very suspect, isn't it? Like, it just looks really suspect. I came in here and I was like, hang on a minute, there are 16 chests lined up like evenly across the coast. What the fuck is this about? If I hadn't read what I'd read, I'd be like, probably would have fucked up. But as I have, there's a room apparently you gain access to in the Necro that has 16 chests, and they each correspond to a chest on this particular part of the Fon Coast. So basically, if you take a chest from here, according to what I've read, it will disappear in that room. So if you want to get the ZODIAC spear, or at the very least to find out what's being contained in those chests, if you gain access to the rooms in the you know, latter stages of the game in the Necrohole, don't touch these, right? Like, if you look at the map here, the Vadu strand, so you come in over there, Salakawood, that's where you start. You'll make your way through all of this, which takes quite a while, especially if you're just battling. And then that's the camp there, and then this here where you can see that icon, it's right at the end here, this area. This is where we're going, up that way, to continue the story. But yeah, the Vadu strand, yes. Like, when you get here, you see those, don't touch those chests if you want to find out what is contained within the chests in the Necrohole once you gain access to the area. I believe, according to what I've read, the ZODIAC spear should be in one of those chests. So if you remove any of these, you may lose the chance to get a hold of the ZODIAC spear. Like, so anyone who's using the I forget the name of the license at this present moment, which covers base for spears, but none of my characters are built to use spears, so it doesn't really matter to me, but I am curious as to what I'll find in these chests, so I'm not going to touch it. Right, let's get back into it. So yeah, in action now. Shades of black. There you go. Straight away. I think that's flare. I find it quite interesting when they run away if they get too big a hit straight off the bat. There's that 2-on-1. Cast bravery, and there you go. That was fire. You know? And just so you know, like, I'll bring out Ash, just so you can see. Save the bubble. Yeah. The gambits for Ash, Pinello, and Althea are still set for the Necro. So, yeah, it's like casting, I had it set up so that they cast bubble, which doubles your HP. And then protect guy if a certain number turned up, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, So where are we? Bio, because of all the reductions, is 16, but I think it's more like 24 or something along those lines or something. And that other move, I think it was Flare or something, don't even have access to it right now, so it's Shades of Black is really handy to have. Right. So it's interesting that these things don't actually just attack you straight up, you know, but yeah, it's just for the sake of, like, you know, all that going. So yeah, I think it will go a bit, yeah, higher than that too. So yeah, remember, like, when you go down there, when you reach this part of the map, if you want to find out what's in the necro hole, if you want to get your hands on the Zodiac spin, don't touch those chests by the coastline. So yeah, gonna take Bosch up to level 47 and switch over to Fran, I think. Yeah. I mean, I could switch over to Vaughn, but no, I'll switch to Fran. Vaughn's cool. I think the, I don't know, I really like the new score. I mean, let's see if I switch it over to the, yeah, the original. And I love the way that they have both tracks running simultaneously, so you can just kind of, you know, switch between the two on the fly and they just sort of fade out, fade in, you know. Mad, right? So yeah, just gonna continue up here, and go into that unexplored section. I don't know if I'll stay in this area. I think I just wanna, you know, will likely reach level 47 before I finish this map. So. I saw another one of those. Yeah, this is pretty cool as well, though I don't really use it much, just because, like, but it is handy to have. Like, I mean, if you're the sort of person that gets bored if you have to, you know, if you ever get bored of, like, running from one area to another, you just hit L1, and in the options you can set it to twice the speed or 4 times the original game speed, so, you know. But I quite enjoy just watching it go on, you know. I don't know, as I've probably mentioned in an earlier video. There you go. Like, I enjoy just being in this game. You know, I find it therapeutic, so I'm not in a rush. It's like a good book, you know. Yeah. Right. Move. Switch to fan. Equipped. Now let's see what this is. What's she got right now? Oh, cross region episode at least. Oh god, why aren't you attacking? Hang on. Okay, let's check out the gambits. Alright. Doesn't make sense to me. She's not attacking. It's weird. Ah, cool. Party leader's target. Be very careful about that. Be mindful. Nearest visible. Certain points in time, having it set as party leader's target is helpful. Like if you've got a really powerful monster that you need to focus on. And then loads of other minions around, like, you know. So everyone knows what they're doing type thing, you know. So yeah, this is their current setup. Again, this is kind of void at the moment. But yeah. This needs to be... See how quick that shit is. It's crazy. Swift movement. Oh, that should be interesting. Diamond sword. What's that saying? Slightly stronger. Alright. Just for the sake of let's see what. Got loads of license points. Where's the diamond sword? And as we're picking the diamond sword. What have I got? Crystal shield, giant shield, platinum shield. Alright. Switch the setup real quick just to see what that's saying in terms of DPS. So yeah, diamond sword. There seems to be only one magic evade, so cool. Alright. The matching armor for this, I believe, is a mirror armor or something like that. Mirrored armor. It's like a perma reflect. I haven't really got a use for that. I mean, you know, if you're casting healing magic, wearing that fucker, you know, it's a problem. So. Oh, DPS ain't too bad. Oh yeah. Haste. Joys of being a time battle mage. got a really kind of flowing sort of style with the sword is interesting. It's like I remember what Vaughn used to look like when he used a samurai sword. It was dope. Bosch kind of reminds me of like sort of more of like the kendo style of holding it, you know, straight out in front and just, you know, thrust forward, slash, you know, like. But we have a chocobo. Cool. And we have footprints. Cool. Okay, let's see what's over there. Yes, I will feed the chocobo. Let's go. Love it. Where are you taking me? Ah, well that's handy. Cool. Alright, so it's just a way to skip the majority of the Fawn Coast if you're traveling by foot. Also, alright. Save G. I don't really use moats. I guess I don't really need to. And there were a few times where I tried to use moats, and they didn't really help me. But just for the sake of it, let's use a moat. Yeah, you haven't got Libra. The only problem there, just be mindful of that shit. These guys like Time Belt Mage, the Knight, and other classes, they don't get access to the Libra technique, so you don't get as much, or you don't really get any information on what you're fighting. So basically, in order to gauge the difficulty of the battle, check out the when I find an available target, check out the color of their name. If it's blue, should be cool. If it's yellow, it will be a challenging fight. If it's red, you're probably gonna get your ass kicked. But you know, that's not necessarily to say that you won't be able to survive. The joys of balance. Balance in all things, man. Balance in all things. Don't touch me. Sounds like, how dare you? Go on, keep hitting me. It's cool, it's cool. I'm waiting, I'm ready. You know. Laser flaps. I think that's something to do with increased whatever when your HP is at a point or something. Wait, where are they? Laser glove. Yep. Raise strength when character's has full HP. I never use them. There are very few accessories that I actually use. Like, another little, you know, piece of whatever, you know. pay close attention to the sort of what would you call it, debilitating kind of effects that the monsters in a given area inflict on the characters, and the types of items that you're having to use to combat them, and if available, whenever possible. Unless you're doing sort of what I'm doing and just trying to kind of get as gain as many levels as quickly as possible. Stock up on enough accessories to cover base for your party. So, for example, you know, let's go in here. Let's see what we got. So, let me see. Where are we? Bangle at the very beginning. Like, if I wasn't doing whatever, I'd probably equip her with the bangle, just so she always had lever. So that's something to keep in mind. If you can't cast Libra, keep a couple bangles around, because it's handy to know what you're dealing with, basically. So yeah, let's see. Okay, this is a good example. So if you're in an area where, you know, characters are continuously inflicting blind upon you, you know, then it would be handy. I mean, party maxes out at 3, right? So you only really need 3 of any given accessory. Something to consider. So there's no point in buying like more than 3 of anything. If you find stuff, cool, but don't waste your cash. Well, like, you know what I mean? Because you're only gonna have 3 people out at once. And if people die or whatever and you need to, you can just go in the menu, you know, remove from one, equip to another. So yeah, so this armlet, immunity against blind. What else have we got? Immunity against, oh no, no. Don't equip that. It's bullshit. I don't like Berserk. I don't like the idea of losing complete control anyway. And plus, it's like you lose. Yeah, it's just stupid. I mean, obviously you'll just attack. I would imagine Berserk increases the potency of your physical attacks, but you can't move the character. So if there are no enemies about, it's like, yeah, you know, maybe on a boss or something, it will come in handy, you know. So, what else we got? Confuse, bowline sash. Certain areas, you know, they'll hit you with that. Like if you're going up against Marlboro, for example. Bad breath is a bitch. Like stuff like that. So just, you know, sash, immunity to slow. Slow can be irritating, you know. Immunity to sleep. Obviously, if the character goes to sleep and the monsters around you are just casting magic, that, you know, your character will keep getting hit without being woken up. Like, potential death there. Disable and immobilize, you know, black belts. So you get the idea. Immunity to oil. Oil is annoying if you're going up against characters that cast or enemies that cast fire magic, as it increases the potency. This oil in it makes sense. So yeah, but just like keep that in mind, and like you get to an area where you're getting hit by a certain type of whatever, and you plan to stay in that area for a little while or whatever. You just want to cover bases. Go to a store, see if they sell the corresponding immunity accessory. Pick up 3, stick them on your characters if you're running around with a full party or whatever. Good to go. Thank you. Still interesting balance. Balance upon your. Balance upon your. Balance done now. It was fun while it lasts. Because she's not like a white mage or a black mage, her kind of magic potency isn't as high, so I could really set that a little higher, but at the same time, you know, I have my gambit set so that she will in fact use, like, I set it up intentionally to kind of allow her HP to drop below a certain amount. Like, I think I've got it set to 50%, so it's like, you know, once HP drops below 50%, every attack after that be balanced, like, which is especially handy if you're fighting multiple enemies, because everyone will get hit each time, like, with the difference between your current HP and your max. So you can imagine if I had, like, you know, like, twice the HP I have now, they would have been done in one hit. It's handy, and it's fun to watch. You see a charge up and just one after the other, they just drop. It's mad. I love it. So, okay, cool. Well, a couple people have access to staffs, but staffs are quite weak, and I'm not really interested. Alright. Okay. We're approaching the end of this area. Yep. Cool. Just gonna save the game real quick. Where am I? Deadlands. Yeah, leave that one. Focus. So then I advise you to keep two saves also. Just so that, like, you know, if you get to a point, especially with, like, you know, your character builds, have a couple about, like, obviously if you're used to it then you can override it later, but, you know, if you decide to pick a particular class, or when you, especially when you're picking your second license board for each character, if you want to, you know, if you just want to test it out or something, you know, you're not quite sure, just in case, you know, just have to, so you can go back and try a different one. I had to do that with Bosch, like, instead of picking a white mage, I think I picked a knight, and then it just didn't work out, so I had to kind of like go back, and then like, and then I ended up picking the white mage. Yeah, I'm happy with that as well. I have left, for I desired freedom. Had I remained, I would have surely perished. See, freedom to me is like the air itself. Yet I did not think my little sister would follow. She would not listen to me, and now I fear I may have erred in allowing her to follow. It's all good. I'm sure you'll look out for one another. Right, new area. Let's see. Up that. I do quite like this section of the game, like the you know, I mean, I like the game entirely, but I mean, obviously, the higher the level of the monsters you're facing, the greater of a challenge it is, you know. There you go, it's fucked. Did you see what? It's just like, I can't do anything. It's just one blast. Is what I'm saying. exactly what I'm saying. Straight off the bat, I just got hit with everything. Sight unseen, can it land? Yes, there you go. So that's what sight unseen will do when it lands. Okay, just for the sake of get rid of it, because it's a bit long trying to rely on it to actually defeat the monster. It could probably change my gambit so that like once that's done, you know, you can do stuff like if a character's HP is below or an enemy's HP is above or below a certain amount, like then, you know, do this, that, whatever. So I could probably set something up so it's like if I'm blinded, you know, sight unseen, and then on top of that, HP is below, stick that above, like if HP is below like 10% or 20% or some shit like that, like then just straight attack or do some other kind of finishing move, you know. Also if you have poach available, I think I have poach, let me see, though you may finish it beforehand. No, I have poach. Yeah, and you finished it beforehand. Yeah, poach, as you can see there in the info, allows you to, yeah, bang, love it, balance is great. Alright, let's deal with that. Don't want to turn to stone now, that'd be fucked up. 5, where are you? Gold needles. Gonna check real quick if there's anything I can change in the gambit to deal with that. Can't really do anything about sleep. I guess for now I could get rid of the Phoenix down. And I don't really, I don't need you to cast this on yourself right now. I want to do this. Alright. So, where are we now? Gambit tutorial. Demonstration even. Okay, allied status petrified. Gold needle. Right. Switch this above everything else. Like, I mean, yeah. I would say slow is the most irritating, so that should be higher. Petrifier, poison, silence, cool. Those are covered. Can't do anything about sleep. I just gotta wait or bring someone else out to wake them up. Yeah. Ah, right. Sight unseen. Okay. Just in case I get blinded again, let's see if this will work. So, where are we now? Do I have it? Foe HP below 30%. Per character HP less than, equal or greater than. Alright, so we'll pick 30 because I don't have the lower one. I'm going to pick that up another time. We'll put that above. Oh wait, no, that's foe character HP. Okay. Apologies. Where are we now? Foe character. Foe HP equals 100%. Ah, okay. Alright. I've got to buy some more gambits. Oh well. Can't demonstrate or test. Sorry. If this one is left with enough. Yeah, alright, let's see if we can poach, like, yeah, once their HP hits critical, or, you know, low enough, like, if you use poach to finish them off, like, you're more likely to get, like, the, rally. So you could set up a gambit for that, like, low HP equals critical, you know, use poach, you know, that kind of thing. So right at the very end of the battle, instead of, you know, capture it instead of finishing it off. The only issue is, obviously you use that just to make farming more streamlined, but obviously you don't get, I don't think you get any HP when you capture them instead of just straight killing. I mean, any experience. So it's just something to keep in mind. Alright, and I think I will leave it there. Yeah, it's been a little while since I've, you know, done a recording. Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's been, you know, relatively informative, interesting, entertaining. You know, it's a Final Fantasy game. So it's a bit slog. And there are occasions where there's like little to no action to, you know, keep it moving, keep it whatever. So I had this really cool video from earlier in the game that unfortunately didn't record. I was recording, like something happened and it didn't save the recording, but I basically made my way through like this underground cabin section, I forget the name of it, and tore it up, and like the whole thing, the battles were epic. I had 3 characters to go, like, and it was fucking epic. It was really epic. Unfortunately it just flopped. I even wound up with Dolon at the end as well, like, it's such a shame. It would have been really cool to have been able to watch that back myself and to have uploaded that so that other people could watch it, because it was like one of the most entertaining kind of runs that I recorded. But what can we do? Why are you running away, pussy? Dickhead, come back. Look at him. Wait, man. Alright. He's from running away. Like, God. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Alright. Say bye, friend. Alright, cheers for watching. Take it easy. Have a good one and that. It's Jon Digger Plays. Yeah, man, check out my SoundCloud. SoundCloud.com/TheFreeMan, or just type in The Freeman in the search. If you want to hear some beats, like Mixcloud, Diggs Freeman, DIGZ Freeman. Like, want to hear some mixes, radio shows, recordings, and all that stuff. And yeah, man, Diego Diggs Brown on Facebook, Twitter, Jon Digger 1, YouTube, Jon Digger 1, Insta, like Diego Brown. Like, hit me up, man. Like, big ups.